Pollution is a negative externality. The market fails to generate the efficient level of pollution control and penalizes firms that attempt to control pollution. Abatement is defined as the elimination or reduction of polluting or hazardous substances by either removing them completely or lessening their effect through better waste management. There's 3 types of abatement methods. The first one is command and control, which is a legal limit of the amount of the pollutant an individual source is allowed to emit. Typically, it's not cost effective, and most of our air and water pollution laws are command and control policies. The second abatement method is an emissions tax, which is a per unit of pollutant fee collected by the government. The charges serve as economic incentives, and firms will typically reduce emissions until the marginal cost equals the emissions charge, which is known as the cost-effective allocation. The last abatement method is cap and trade, which is where a regulator sets a maximum allowable level of pollution. The government will either give or auction the permits to the firms. The equilibrium price will be where the price at which the marginal control costs are equal across all firms, also known as the cost-effective allocation.
So for command and control, the total emissions of the 2 firms is 135, and they need to get it down to 90. So the 2 firms have to both abate to 45. So this firm needs to abate by 25, and this firm needs to abate by 20. Those are the 2 formulas for it. To find the total abatement cost, you add the 2 firms' total abatement costs together. In order to get this formula, you can use the graph and find the triangle underneath the marginal abatement curve to find the total abatement cost, and it's 1/2 base times height. So this base is the x-axis, which is the abatement, so that's the 20 from this firm, and so the 20 you plug in to this, the 250 times 20 is the 5,000, and so for the same thing for the second firm, you do 1/2 base times height, so it would be 1/2 times the 25 that they're abating by, and then plug that into the marginal abatement cost formula. So 25 times 125, you get 3,125, and then the total after doing the math is $89,060 or $89,062.50.
The second form of abatement is an emissions tax, and to find that level of tax, you basically just kind of have to guess and check it first. So what we do with the table, set the tax at $2,000 starting, and then you take XA, and so like 2,000 divided by 250 equals 8. So 2,000 divided by 16, or 2,000 divided by 125 equals 16, which is 24. Which is not the goal we need. So you continue to do that until you reach your emissions goal, and we found that with a tax of $3,750, and that was total abatement between the 2 firms of 45, which is our goal. That's what you need, because if you set the marginal cost equal to each other, you have 250 XA equals 125 XB, and then doing some algebra, you work out that XB is equal to 30, and XA equals 15, which matches up with our graph in tax. To find the total abatement cost, you look at the marginal cost curves on the graph, and it's the triangle underneath, so it's again the 1/2 base times height. And with the line, you have your abatement of 15 times the level of the tax, so it's 1/2 15 times 3,750. And then with the other curve, your abatement is 30, so it's 1/2 times 30 times 3,750, with a total abatement cost of $84,375, which is lower than what we found with command and control, and is therefore cost effective.
Third method is cap and trade, and under cap and trade, the market equilibrium point is where the marginal cost curves are equal to each other. So we have that right here. From earlier, we saw that the total abatement of firm A and firm B should equal 45 units. So taking firm B's abatement in terms of firm A, we plug it into the initial marginal cost equation, and we arrive at firm B abating 30 units, firm A abating 15. So in total, firm A will emit 50 units, and firm B should emit 40 units. The price will end up being $37.50 per permit, according to our marginal cost curve from the beginning. And if each firm is initially given 45 permits by the government, firm B will sell 5 of those permits to firm A, reaching 50 units for A and only 40 for B, which is the cost-effective and efficient allocation. They will sell them for $37.50 per permit, and if the government was initially to sell these permits to the firms instead of just giving them away for free, it would be 90, which is the total number of permits sold, times the price of each permit, for a total government revenue of $337,500.